sandals, and it's not that important to rush your way to a blink. And so putting in July in a 1v1 situation versus Tavo, I would be fine with. It's just that given this Lina support, you'd think you'd want to take advantage of the stun synergy you have with the Sven and the Grimstrike. You know, start out with the Stormhammer, let him rush in with the Inkswell and LSA.
I feel really strongly about that once Doom gets to level 3. If he gets the second level of Devour and he has that high regen rate, I'm just not convinced they're not gonna do enough damage, right? But maybe they just like the experience aspect. Maybe they don't want to like split the experience 3 ways. They feel like Sylar is just kind of farming away right now. He is doing fine for himself.
And to an extent, it's keeping the Rubik busy also. Rubik's down in the bot lane as well, making sure that Lina can't just pull jungle camps or cut off the wave. So they're duking it out on their own right.
I just feel like both these 4 positions, well, I guess Firefly is more of a 5, but both of these supports don't really have the clear home. Z-Freak trying to take the regen rune after the hit, kind of fails, and picks it up right before he gets hit by the projectile. Regen's pretty much nothing.
I'm also curious what this Broodmother is going to build, because I have not seen too much 7.22C Broodmother. I think the Aghanim Scepter is strong. I just kind of don't know when to build it, much like Ember Spirit's Aghanim Scepter. They're kind of the same purpose, that you're very, very mobile around the map.
Tavo trying to dodge the LSA by going back into the team, but doesn't actually manage it, and it looks like he may not be able to get away. Firefly, ooh, okay, a little bit of awkward positioning. He definitely could have been in position for a second LSA and maybe the kill. But Tavo will manage to get out, thanks in part to his 1-1-1 build, where he went for the Scorched Earth, and movement speed helping him to get out.
Yeah, both Lina and the Sand King kind of went for the tree juke approach as opposed to the easy, just walk your way back into the lane approach.
Yeah.
Sometimes you mind game yourself. That's like Leshrac split Earths. Like sometimes the most obvious ones are the ones that will work out in professional games because you're like, surely he's gonna like stutter step a little bit back and then I'll catch him, and then you just whiff it.
You know, whenever you know that thing, it's just something about it where you lose the confidence. Whenever you see somebody recast something like LSA or Split Earth more than 2 times, you just know they're probably gonna miss. You know, they're getting flustered. You know, they're like, the fact that they have to recast it like 2 times, you know, they're just like, they're gone. Oh, managed to get a really good burst strike, getting in front of Z-Freak here, but Z-Freak does not get hit by the follow-up stun from the Lina. And so far, this lane, we put a little pressure on Tavo, but well, he is actually 8-0, so he's definitely behind in CS compared to the 14-8 of the Sand King right now. In fact, Sirius as a whole is doing very well for themselves in the Complexity's doing very well for themselves. Top of the board at 38-7 for the Puck and 22-2 for the Wraith King.
Yeah, his Broodmother's not doing nearly as well as I was expecting, as Injuly gets
first strike through. They turn on a Z-Freak instead. Now Injuly is probably going to die here. They want the kill first on Z-Freak, but Z-Freak is the one to claim the first blood. Tavo's going to take a lot of damage on his way out, but Tavo actually turned around and hit the Infernal Blade. The creeps kind of block him a little bit. Firefly had another LSA, could have gone for a blind, but decides against it.
Hit level 3 for the Dragon Slave as well, but he's playing it safe. Dude, maybe he is scared. Maybe he's feeling it.
Maybe. Or maybe, I'll give you another idea. Okay. Maybe he was actually okay with just leaving Tavo low, because he knew he didn't have any regen, right?
Okay.
Z-Freak brings a healing sound, that'll help. Top lane, we do have Inkswell on to 3-4-3. He will be able to get out of range of that big stun, and Lim's going to be able to come rescue the day. Yan Ming is going to die. It looks like Sylar will get back to the tower safely, but Complexity securing those bounty runes while they're trying to do the same at bottom lane, but Z-Freak will die for it, it looks like, as he's hit by the Caustic Finale and the Dragon Slave runs him over.
This laning sub, this 2-1-2 sub seems extremely intentional. They do not seem interested in trying to bully one lane extremely hard. They're trying to distribute the love. The problem is that I think that mid lane needs to get some love from Sirius, because Broodmother is not going to be able to stay ahead of a Puck. A Puck is going, especially with maxed out Illusory Orb and Waning Rift, these Spiralings are not going to survive. And so anytime Broodmother starts pushing his tower, it's great to only have one hero on Brood duty. And Rubik is great at it just with Fade Bolt. And a Puck that's this high level, probably early Blink Dagger, BOTs, I wouldn't be surprised as we saw in the NIP series.
Got him down, Miracle. Tries to turn around and go for the stun, but the Inkswell still managed to hit him. Sylar's going to cut through the trees. Miracle spotted by a great stroke coming out, and looks like Miracle will die here inside of those trees. Good rotation from Firefly.
Unfortunately, unlike whenever you do have a Wraith King and you can turn that into a push, I don't think Lina's going to be able to do much more in this top lane.
Yeah. All he can do is shut down the Wraith King once, secure the lane a little bit more for Sylar, and head back into it. But yeah, I almost think Limp kind of like maybe overplayed his lane a little bit. The way he was winning so early on, he just read that he just was constantly attacking ASD, just right-clicking him over and over and over again.
Yeah, which is one of the best approaches, because once the Brute gets more points in webs, you're not going to out-regen her, and plus the Soul Ring early on as well. And so, you know, it's like back when like double waving used to be very, very important in the mid lane. You just want to get in as much early harass as possible.
Grimshow cutting over. They're going to be able to slow down Z-Freak, get the spiders on top. All the spiders die, though, with the Fable, as well as that orb coming out from Limp. Managed to get a 3-minute coil now. ASD doesn't want to break it. He's afraid of that damage. We'll just play in this cliff area. They're going to turn to hit the LSA onto the Warlock. The Fatal Bonzo on ASD. That's enough to finish him off, and Firefly's going to be run down as well. And Sirius, their Grimstroke at least, will be able to get out a little amount of HP, but that's twice now. Back-to-back games that we've seen somebody overextend, trying to kill a support or near a puck. And the puck punishes you so hard with the Dream Coil when you try and retreat.
Yeah, and those Fatal Bonds follow up. He didn't even need anyone to snap it. He just needed to buy enough time for Warlock's TP to come in. And this is all pre-level 6. Warlock did not have the golem. Rubik did not have Spell Steal. All you needed was the Dream Coil to set up all these turnarounds. And I don't think a Broodmother needs to play that aggressively, like with other heroes. She's allowed to dive by herself. Whenever you bring your other heroes into harm, this is what happens.
Push out here. Bottom lane. Tavo is now level 6. Did go for the maxed out Scorched Earth build, which is one of those kind of killer builds where the damage over time in an AoE, 50 damage. Level 7. I think what was the first time we saw this? It was a couple tournaments ago. I think it was somebody like Old 11 was playing it. I was just like, so insane.
Dude, I thought.
This was because everybody for that, because everyone was like, oh, it's your regen, and then I think it was Old 11 showed up and it was just like, hey, I'm just gonna run at you guys, and everybody's like, wow, 50 damage a second is actually pretty insane.
And he's been keeping this Frost right click as well, so he's all in on being able to chase people down, as we might see on Angela.
Drop the sentry, immediately kill it. The Sand King does well to respond to that.
That Calling Blade.
That's always the battle of the sentries there. Good catch there on Sylar, who was farming up the jungle. Thought that team needed to abandon his lane and play into jungle, but instead that's exactly where he gets caught.
Complexity one step ahead. There is so much Radiant vision in that northern jungle. There are 4 Observer Wards of Radiant dedicated to that top half of the map. So they know where Sven's going to be most of the time. And they know that this Lina and Sand King have been busy, so anything in the eastern jungle is probably not stacked up for this Sven yet.
Broodmother is going to go Hannah minus first. So really committing to the farm.
Okay.
But ASD is yet to be able to really touch that mid-tier 1 tower. This is what Broodmothers usually on Dire side want to be able to do, is they want to push into that tower, take over this medium camp on the right-hand side here, and just continue to cut waves, hit the tower. And he's doing that right now while Limp is gone. Limp is finally going to show up. First down, but just window. 100 damage to the tier 1.
Right. You need to have someone on brute duty, and Wraith King was just standing there like, Limp, can you come back, please? I can't deal with these spiders.
Remember Wraith King? Oh, single target Wraith King. Can't do much against Broodmother. Somebody, please.
Yeah. Like he may be working his way to a Midas of his own. As now, Battlegrounds 2 for 2. Or, no, well, yeah, it's going to be 2 for 2.
Just to scare him away, ASD popping his ultimate just to farm up this ancient stack that he's got going on. All around, just look, both sides have a very, I think that both sides have a relatively fast lineup and very heavy mid game, but we're not actually seeing a whole lot of attempts at kills right now. We're just kind of split up okay with the farm that they're getting. It's mostly just Limp who's been the one moving around the most.
Which is why I wasn't thrilled with this Broodmother going for the Midas build, because she's the one who can create the easiest pressure. This is what a lot of people don't like whenever you pair like Sven and TA, is because both heroes want to farm the jungle constantly. And the thing with Broodmother is she doesn't have to farm the jungle. She can farm the enemy jungle, like you said, take over that medium camp. She can create pressure on the map elsewhere. But right now she's just kind of hijacking the eastern camp. Sven doesn't really know where to go, and now Limp's looping around.
Spotted, gets the veil onto him, doesn't do any damage to the spiders, running over Tavo. They do manage to get the burrow strike, and they do latch him in with the golem. 3-4-3's gonna die behind the back lines as Firefly comes in. Tavo attached to that golem for so long, but now he's going to turn around and actually Doom up and try and kill the Lina for farther down. Puck managed to run down the Grimstroke. Doom still ticking down on Firefly. Tavo falls, but it looks like Firefly needs to deny, trying to run to Injali, but Injali couldn't get there in time. In the end, Complexity do manage to kill that tower. It's Miracle gets him. Meanwhile, top lane, the Dream Pole finally being used to kill Sylar here, who thought he had free reign to just go and push this tier 1 while the fight was happening mid, but fast rotations from Limp.
And if you don't see the Dream Coil pop, you don't feel safe going for that movement. Yeah. I initially thought that was going to be very, very Sirius favored. Even though their tower went down, it was just a support Lina, but Sylar going down. Sylar has had some questionable positioning this entire tournament. I have not been thrilled. I remember he had a Death Prophet game earlier where he was just,
oh god,
yeah, that one.
He did have to play side lane Death Prophet, which is
true. True. But you know, they drafted it. I didn't tell them to play
yeah,
it.
Sure, that's true. And most carries do have an opportunity to like have a voice in what hero you get to pick. You know?
Yeah, I do think that Sven's going to be instrumental in winning, though, because, like I said, the Broodmother has answers between the Puck and the Rubik. She's not going to be able to pressure towers, just uncontested. And as the game progresses, Dream Coil is amazing against Broodmother.
All right, I'm going to throw a wild idea there.
Okay.
This is an idea that I've seen. I've actually seen it in this matchup. Okay. What would you think if Broodmother...
Wait, did you see it in North America?
What would you think if...
Let's hear it.
All right, pipe first Broodmother.
Oh, no, I'm a big fan of that, actually. Yeah.
When you have like specifically like against a hero like Puck or Lina that has the 1-2 punch of insta-killing the spiders. I think 33 used to build it quite a bit, and it kind of got dethroned whenever Dominator became the go-to build. But now that you can't get siege creeps anymore, I'd be perfectly okay with Pipe making a resurgence, because even beyond the barrier, the regen is amazing. If you just tank one spell, if you're in your web and your spiders are around you for the Pipe aura, you get so much HP back on them. But this build from ASD is quite the opposite of that. It's very offensive. Midas, Yasha into Diffuser Blade, all in on the right clicks.
Which eventually, I imagine, he'll start right-clicking some heroes. It doesn't seem like it's on the agenda yet.
Yeah, right now he's using all that damage and attack speed to kill neutrals.
Poor Sven, man.
Yeah, Sven's left without much of a home.
Look at him. He's like, let me help out a little bit.
So, one creep for my Echo Saber. Let me have this at least.
And they finally sentry warded and removed all the observers from the northern jungle. Because now there might be a slight movement in the top lane.
Meanwhile, Wraith King, he's had a better game. He's 1,000 net worth up over the Sven because in part of his hand of Midas, also just more space to let his Mortal Strike go to work. Right now, his Skeletons, they pushed in mid lane and took it for him. Now he's trying to do something similar at top, but this is what Sand King is best at. Being able to play very defensively. They have to really commit to be able to kill. Unfortunately, they got the coil, so he's not able to burst strike so easily. The Golem's going to follow that up to make sure Injali does die inside that coil, and any heroes that TP'd in are going to get caught as well, and that's going to be a Grimstroke run down by the Wraith King. They're going to be able to steal the Inkswell, just the added little cherry on top for the next fight.
Complexity did not care who showed up. They were going to use everything, if it was the Sand King, or if the Grimstroke showed up, or if all 5 Sirius heroes showed up. They wanted to use the Golem, they wanted to take a tower, and they do just that, get 2 kills on top of it.
Limp was already moving around the map so fast, making plays happen. In the first 10 minutes, now at 15, he's got a Blink Dagger after that Veil of Discord. And I bet he's looking for that Boots of Travel sometime soon.
This is one of the most irritating things as a Broodmother player now, because like you should have done better mid, you should have maybe taken the tier 1 tower mid, and you should have taken control of the enemy jungle, but now the enemy mid laner has...
Oh, nice deny bottom lane. Limp takes that gold away from the Lina.
Narrow.
They may not even be able to get mid tower as it's glyphed up, and there's going to be Fate Bolts. There goes all that damage. This could be a second denied tower.
Well, apparently ASD doesn't care. He's just gonna chill in the jungle all day.
The fact that he hasn't taken that mid tower, but Limp has moved out of lane.
I know.
He was up there at top, took that, was there at bottom as well.
Now he's back for some more spider farm. Has the Veil as well. Hell, they can go for this with the Dream Coil, but it seems that the rest of Sirius are missing off the map right now, and they don't want to make anything too aggressive.
Yeah, and it does look like Sirius wants to make an aggressive maneuver as they smoke up. They had some aggressive vision. There's that high ground ward next to the tier 2 at top, so they had probably vision of some heroes moving around, but not necessarily the smoke itself. They are going to claim that tower. No hero last hit, so, but at least it's better than to deny.
Thing is that all the Sirius heroes are here now, and unless they want to turn this into a tier 2 push bot, they're kind of wasting their time. But it looks like they may be able to get some aggressive vision in the Radiant jungle, but they're not going to find any heroes. The rest of Complexity have just moved to the western jungle.
Here's a big power spike now. The level 10 talent for Doom, with already the maxed out Scorched Earth build. Now it's 70 damage per second.
Dude, my man is still on the Frost Strike click.
He really is. He's all about it, apparently.
Huh. Okay. I mean, I thought if you're gonna like stick around with something, you go for like the Kobold Aura. He's cruising around.
Yeah, I would take
almost anything.
Yeah.
The Harpy Mana Steel.
Whoa, let's not go crazy here, Tsunami. All right, Sirius, they're not going to try and defend their tier 2. Instead, they're just going to work the opposite side of the map. Sylar has already popped his God Strength.
Dude, what is ASD's grand plan? He's not even helping his team push bot. He's just chilling.
He's not even like trying to cut waves mid.
I know.
He's just letting them push in top and mid lane. Maybe because he's scared.
He's scared of his own Rubik spiders.
Yeah, he's like, dude, these spiders freak me out, man. They look like mine, but they're not really mine.
This is kind of usually what I see Complexity be guilty of, is that they kind of just give away towers for free. But Sirius, they're motioning in the direction, but Sven's not anywhere. Okay, Sven just TP'd to the top.
That's 70 damage per second. Okay, they're going to commit. They actually want to feed away the Spiderlings as long as they can actually kill the Doom. Tavo slowly dying, and he will end up falling to Golem. It's not enough to save him. Live in the back lines. He's almost dead. They managed to get a Dragon 3-man LSA. A great setup for Firefly. And it looks like in July, well, he'll take out eventually here as the Shadow Word will be enough. But still, a massive fight for Sirius as they're going to be able to kill the Wraith King on his second life as well. And that's going to be 4 dead. And honestly, it could have been 5. The puck was so low in the back lines.
Redemption for Firefly. What an amazing LSA. Otherwise, that fight could have gone a little bit worse. The Fatal Bonds, like any little bit of damage that you can manage to get out is instrumental. So managing to shut down 3 heroes with 1 spell, I think just secured that. And despite the Golem being used, I think Sirius just initiated it a little bit too fast. 3-4-3 was pretty quick on the draw, but Doom died too quickly. And couldn't Frost right click anyone. What was that all about?
He did, what was it? That was the first reveal of the Blink Dagger, right?
It was,
from the Sand King.
Yeah.
So maybe they caught Complexity a little unaware.
And Tavo may be able to return the favor as he's very, very close to a Blink Dagger of his own.
Yeah. I like the fact that they identified Tavo as probably being the most important hero. If they could catch the puck, that'd be great. But before the Wraith King has Radiance, right, that most of the damage in those team fights is either going to come from the Scorched Earth, the Doom, or it's going to come from the... So just hard committing for that hero was nice. Next fight, though, we're probably going to have a Radiance for the Wraith King, as he's only 800 gold away from it right now, so...
And for what it's worth, I don't really think like Sven or Broodmother are that depressed about getting doomed. And usually Doom's great in these blink initiation situations when you can catch out like either a critical support that can initiate, like a Tidehunter or something, or a carry that needs to activate spells to be useful. So if you can find Sven before like God Strength, it's great, but chances are pretty slim.
Like we were talking about, I really did not like the Doom pickup choice. And you were saying it might have been because they thought it was a 2-position, Lena.
Right, and they wanted to take away the double Doom potential. But on Complexity side, yeah, I definitely see that it was very strong in the lane, and obviously the damage is something to be feared, especially with the max Scorched Earth build. But in terms of his ultimate, which is usually his signature ability to be brought into a game, it's not that impactful.
SNY build for Sylar, so he's just going to go for the that reduction. And after that one team fight, Sirius has just been kind of
crunching through towers.
Yeah, running at Complexity side of the map, banging creeps, hitting towers.
ASD's farming neutrals.
And Complexity are going, well, Radiance, it's still not here, so we still can't fight.
And I guess they don't really feel like taking advantage of the Blink Dagger. I don't think they've shown it yet. I don't think Tavo's walked into any vision, but they just gave away 2 tier 2 towers for free. Yeah. Like a Radiance is important, sure, but...
And are they even going to get this bottom tier 1?
I think
Sirius could defend for sure. They may not want to. They may want to stick on this side of the map. I mean...
Maybe take Roche.
It could be a Roche time. Sneaky little play. They've got it. They have no minus armor, but they have a lot of physical damage.
Yeah. and spiders to tank it. So even though it may take a while, you will be able to take a fight if Complexity get wind of this.
They're going to be spotted by the orb.
Does orb it out.
Well, Roshan, they just keep on going for it. The most Complexity were showing themselves in mid. They're now going to smoke up, running to the Roshan pit, but it looks like they may just be a little bit too slow. The Bro Strike actually stopping the front from being able to jump inside the pit. Good play from In July, and now they can run at the other side. They're going to be able to maybe catch the puck. They tried to get him with the Ink Swell. He's able to jump away to his orb, spot him for a moment, though. He's stuck inside the trees while ASD runs down the rest of the team. They do manage to get the Bro Strike. LSA follow-up, Laguna Blade, but a phase shift blinks up right now. Will be able to blink to the right. Orb over, they know where it's going. The Stroke of Fate's not going to land.
Well played.
And he will have the space to, TPL.
I mean, that's great they survived, but I don't know why Complexity decided to smoke from their tier 3 mid. I don't know if their TPs were down, that they couldn't just get to the shrine, but you had enough time to make a play. Most of their TPs were down, and that was their fastest way to the pit. But they give away an Aegis, and they don't get any exit kills. In fact, they give up their Warlock.
Oh, use the glyph to be able to TP in the puck to get this pick off. They just wanted to make sure they had the extra damage, the extra hold to kill the Sven for sure. That is one of their nicer combos. They had the guaranteed catch with what is supposed to be kind of a team fight winner in the Doom. But outside the pit, they are going to be able to find Z-Freak.
I mean, it's a team fight winner, but you just got a pick off, and now the rest of the team is coming. You have Golem available, but Dreamcoil and Doom are both down.
Let's see if Sirius are going to poke at the high ground at all with those spiders, or if they're going to back up once.
I mean, Rubik's dead for 30, and you've got an Aegis.
Yeah, this puck, he's trying to run over the Wraith King. Same thing. He does have a TP on the Wraith King, but they're going to try and come in from behind here. They may not Dreamcoil hold these heroes in place. They're already going to try and commit with a Burrow Strike into 3-4-3 to make sure they don't get off the Golem, and they won't be able to. He dies, Tavo with the two-man stun, but he's so slowed down that the Brood Mother is going to catch up to him, get him with the Spawn Spiderlings to finish him off, and he still has that Aegis too, and he's going to heal up to full. Well, Miracle, he's still hitting neutrals.
Yeah, he'll do that.
He's had a TP for the last 40 seconds.
But does he have a Radiance?
He up his Radiance, but he really does not want to fight into this Brood Mother. It's a Diffusal Manta Brood Mother that can burn through all of his mana. He really needs his level 20 talent before they commit too much. They do manage to get an opposing Soul Bind. Unfortunately, there's no Doom, but they do manage to get Double Faithful. That'll finish off the Grimstroke. Second life of the Brood Mother. Brood Mother doesn't have a Manta, doesn't have a BKB, so can't so easily get away if they actually get any stuns out, but only the Golem stun. The Epicenter initiation onto Z-Freak once again. This Rubik just dies. This is In July. Keeps on targeting him time and time again. A two-man LSA. Now Miracle. He doesn't get burned out of his mana, so he will be the reincarnation here. The puck might be able to get away. Short little hop over into his tier 3 tower. He'll be okay. Telekinesis actually buying some space for Tavo, the Laguna Blade. It wasn't enough. And Miracle, with no reincarnation, has to play very careful. That was so close to Sirius getting so many kills there.
Yeah, Sylar had actually taken a longer route back to the fight, otherwise that may have gone even worse for Complexity, but he was kind of looping around. As soon as he entered the fight, I think Complexity realized that they needed to exit, and poor Rubik, man, he is tanking all of these epicenters in the face, not being able to do anything, and this is a great Rubik game. You have so many stuns to steal, namely the one that would be the one that Firefly's showing off on. So many multi-hero LSAs. Again, dude, instrumental in winning these fights.
Look how important the experience is to Miracle right now because of this Manta Diffusal Blade from the Brood Mother. He picked up both tomes at 20, and he's going to pop both of them. He's like, my supports don't get this. I'm going to be using Hannah Midas. I'm going to be using my tomes, anything to get to the level 20 talent where I have the no reincarnation mana cost.
Dude, that was the theory whenever the double tome thing came out. They were like, oh man, maybe Invoker becomes good again because he'll just eat both the tomes. But no, not yet. Instead, it's going to be Wraith King. And Broodmother now, with her Aghanim Scepter completed, has full control of the map. And we are seeing Complexity already struggle with trying to move from objective to objective.
You know, I thought he had BKB queued up. I thought ASD was going to go for it. And if you did commit to the BKB, I think you get mid lane of Barracks guaranteed. It'd be very heavy committal into this timing window, but I think they're strong enough to just go for it.
I think it's more Sven's responsibility. If you want someone to just face tank, then Sven, even though he is a while away from his BKB, if you already went for the status resistance to the Yasha, then might as well just let him be the face tank and go for the Aghanim Scepter instead. Because you see Complexity are very, very dependent on a 5-man. You want to get this Fatal Bonds, Dream Coil, Golem combination. If Broodmother's off poking around, then who are you going to send? Like at best, you have to lose the Rubik, who can only just Fade Bolt away the spiders.
Tyler pushing out this top lane, and all of Complexity playing around the trees decides that this is not the pick-off they want to go for. And maybe they're right, because Grimstroke and Angel Eyes Sand King were sitting behind him.
They just want to protect this stun, make him work his way up to that BKB.
So instead, Z-Freak will just cut waves, Gatebolt, Stormhammer. But the smoke up from Sirius, they're going to move on through. Catching up to the Broodmother at mid.
Still haven't taken any of the shrines yet. But they just want to maybe ambush something as these Brute Spiders are scouting out, doing a little figure eight.
Yeah, and they can start doing some damage to the rain tracks if they want. There's the slow burn of the Radiance, but Tavo quickly killing the ward that was placed out. They don't want to give Sirius the opportunity to find an initiation.
They just want to hem Complexity on their side of the map. Don't want to give them an opportunity to farm their jungle as now Limp tries to make an escape.
Gets out of the pit and will go for the fast kill onto the Grimstroke. Almost enough to be able to burst him down. They just need Miracle to join him. But the minutes get, oh no, the Doom got close to Limp. And now Limp is stuck in the soul bind, so all that mobility goes away. They will be able to kill Tavo. Looks like they got 3-4-3 in the back line, and Sirius taken down 3. Only a buyback on the puck available means they can go for the high ground push potentially as Sylar chases away the Wraith King. They don't even really need to do anything with this Wraith King.
Keep him busy.
Just keep him busy. Just don't let him TP.
Look at him run.
You can go for the kill eventually.
Don't worry, your mid-rax is being taken.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, at this point... Oh, wait, did they not save a stun? Okay. Well, they didn't save a stun.
Well, that happens.
Well, they delayed long enough to be able to get the melee barracks at least, and maybe there's still the tier 3 bottom.
Yeah, you can time on God Strength. They're cutting through this tower. The only justification I can have for Tavo jumping in like that is because he tried to beat the Soulbind and maybe doom the Grimstroke, which initially they're like, okay, we can kill this Grimstroke in the initial burst. And then he's kind of surviving. He's like, he might Soulbind. I'll jump in. Unfortunately, that was the worst case scenario as he gets Soulbound.
Oh, Upheaval with the telekinesis toss back. They are now getting the full slow. That's why the Broodmother's just going to turn and fight Miracle. Miracle is burned out of mana. He doesn't get off the magic stick charges, so he doesn't have the reincarnation. Now he's going to be forced to buy back. ESD is slowed down to a total crawl, but finally the Upheaval, it runs out and everybody will get away.
Insatiable hunger. She doesn't even need the BKB if there are not very many disables for her. She'll just sit in the Dream Coil. Unless if Rubik manages to steal one of the Burrow Strike, the LSA, the Stormhammer, or even the Inkswell, then Broodmother is really not afraid of anything. She's going to be working her way to a heart, actually. Yeah,
just fully statting up. And this Aghanim Scepter, not just stats, but then also just being able to control so much of the map with all these webs everywhere. What level is our Wraith King? Still only level 18. 30-minute tomes are coming up.
Oh wait, I never get to do this. JJ, hit me up with the Broodmother heat map. I want to see this Aghanim Scepter potential. I want to see how warm the map is.
Yeah, that's a good one.
As this Fable just pinballs around. Yeah, like Complexity is just like this right now. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's like not as...
Played a lot in that triangle and just back and forth into mid. And then what I liked about it is we were kind of clowning on ASD a little bit of like, yo, you're not defending mid, you're not like cutting the creep wave, but he did understand like we're gonna reach a very good timing, and Complexity's not gonna be strong enough to fight us. They can only really beat us to 20 minutes. We do outscale them just slightly. Especially if this Wraith King is so far behind. He's 4K net worth behind the Sven. And how is he that far behind when he went for the Midas Radiance build in the first place? He went for the full farm build, which is kind of what we expected from Miracle.
One could contend that hero kills may be worth more than neutral kills.
That's probably true. After all, our Sven has been a part of how many? Not many, actually. 0, 3, and 5, but I Cleave just letting him take all the towers and farm up much of the enemy jungle, and he's gonna blink right into the Broodmother who got behind him. His mana's being burned away, but his HP's being burned away faster. If he actually dies like this, it'd be fantastic. A nice stop goes out. The goal is to follow it up. They do manage to get the Wraith King in his second life here, but he's just gonna die so quickly as Sylar just rips him apart. 3-shotting the Warlock towards the end. Triple kill, Complexity call it here. Sirius just totally outplaying Complexity at this point. I mean, they just turned it on at one point. They just kind of dodged a lot of Complexity's moves.
It didn't even feel like that much like a Broodmother game. It felt more like just a mid laner who was given free farm and taking over the entire game, much as how like a Drow Ranger would or something like that. So
Yeah.
I can't even say that it was like a real fault of the draft. I think it's just complexity. We're just buying too much time for a Wraith King who could never really fight.
Radiant's turn to ban. It's Dire's ban now. Radiant's turn to pick. Dire's turn to pick.
Sad.
10 seconds to go! 5 seconds left! Radiant pick!
Imba Spirit.
Seconds. 5 seconds left. Radiant's turn to ban.
Lena.
Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Dire's turn to ban. Radiant's turn to ban. Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Dyer's turn to bail. Ten seconds. 5 seconds left.
Lakad mo, Totoy! Normally. Lotion! Pray to win, baby!
Pick. Radiant pick.
Done.
10 seconds to go.
This is why I like land.
5 seconds left. Dire pick.
Oracle.
Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Radiant's turn to pick.
I speak for the trees.
Hey, they're back! Good for you! It's Dyer's band now.
Sound warlord.
Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. It's Radiant's band now. 10 seconds. 5 seconds left. Radiant pick. Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Dyer's turn to pick.
Axe.
10 seconds. 5 seconds left. Choose your hero.
A good question, Rich, and we've got front. First 20 minutes, one. That game, do you feel better?
axe, which got a move speed buff.
This is definitely some NA special from Complexity. Mantaker from the NA region, who was probably the guy who inspired Envy. Just first picks axe every single game. Most of the time is playing 5 position as a result and does obnoxious all the time, which is, you know, a good attribute for any support player to have. Looks like we are going to split up the bounty runes too for real invasion. Well, he tried to for Miracle, but toss up in the air means Firefly still able to grab it.
And the Arc Warden is the biggest question mark I have right now. It was getting consistently banned out against NIP, as Ace has a history on the hero. But, I mean, ASD's mixing it up. You know, he had the Broodmother in the previous game. Now he's going to be playing this Arc Warden, and I have high hopes.
Yeah, it seems to be a pretty good Arc Warden game, right?
About is, I guess, or anything like that. Lina is not going to be able to get inside your bubble very easily. Troll Warlord can be easily kited. I'm pretty confident that ASD is going to have a grand old time.
Yeah, biggest thing is that he just has to win this mid lane. He can't afford this Lina to be too far ahead of him, as that is going to be the one hero that may be able to hunt him down and just throw magic damage at him as he tries to split push around the map and such.
Which is why I think Injuly may have to come by mid lane every once in a while. It is going to be a core Nature's Prophet as opposed to the support Nature's Prophet that we saw Sirius play in their NIP series. But I was also not thrilled with Sirius's 4-position Nature's Prophet, so I'm looking forward to seeing it get a little bit more farm and be a little bit more irritating on the map.
Sylar is just being pressured so heavily. He does have the healing ward on him, so he will be fine here, but
Z-Freak has 13.4 HP regen per second. He has more than Sylar with a Shadow Word on him.
Yep. 6.4 naturally with double mangoes. Once he eats a tango, he just kind of runs at him. And again, you can see they're just every single time Sylar, he has this battle hunger on him. Then Tavo plays super aggressively with Classic Finale and Burrow Strike to make sure he can't get a last hit. Fortunately, the Warlock offsets a lot of this damage.
It's not often that you'll see Sandstorm skipped so late into the laning phase, but in this situation, it makes very much sense.
Our mid matchup 9-3 compared to 8-2, so ASD is definitely holding in his own and is getting a lot of harassment damage on Limp. I have noticed that the Courier's already flying out to bail Limp out of all his lost HP. ASD definitely has the advantage from that because he now finds a regen rune. On top of that, he still had 2 tangos left before the Courier even joined him.
And in the bot lane, we got Firefly and Nature's Prophet.
Go for another dive. Sylar has the battle hunger on him. Don't let it get the last hit on the range creep. He does manage to do so, but the Burrow Strike and the Caustic Finale, he may just be taking out here. He has the Flame Guard on him. Tavo's taking a lot of damage now. The Healing Word with the tower aggroing onto him. He had to be careful there.
And Z-Freak got like no spins.
He has another Burrow Strike. He's going to go for it and does manage to get Sylar, bringing him down barely. Z-Freak gets the first blood. Tavo did not have to stick around long enough and does. Actually, Jianming has already taken enough damage from the creeps. He has to be a little bit scared of Z-Freak potentially going for the dive.
I think to an extent Tianming may want to dive though, because he's all out of mana and
I think Tavo wants to do the same thing here. He's already bought out his crown.
It's a race to kill yourself.
It really is.
And World is just going to take the long walk back home. This is the power of the support axe. It is.
Oh hey, there's your rotation. It's not going to come to the Furion. Well, he may be in, but Firefly was actually rotating over. Good scan though. They had the a very defensive ward on this right-hand side to see tiny rotations as well.
Yeah, and they'll be able to scout it out. So he's just going to retreat. Has his boots completed already, so it's not that much skin off his back as he'll be able to head on down to the bot lane again. And he's keeping the Oracle busy as well.
Yeah. I wasn't sure how well this lane, because it's not a classic kill combo with Tiny. You know, it's not some sort of like Mars Centaur setup like that.
Super bursty thing.
But I guess if he can pressure mid as much as possible, and then there's the opportunity for Angelai to TP in. Sadly, this is just all being ruined by a good defensive ward. Limp does manage to get an Arcane Rune away from ASD.
Though at the same time, it's allowing Angelai to get solo experience, so it's not like he's getting zoned out because his Tiny's not present. It's just he's not being able to put as much pressure on
Lamp out of position. Actually, they're going to be able to get the Flux toss back into the creeps, get the Avalanche to make sure he can't cast the Light Strike Array.
And unfortunately, Z-Freak was moving to make a rotation of his own. He's not going to be able to do much other than get a little bit of experience in the mid lane, which I don't know how much a Axe can contribute. I don't think he's going to be like I mean, he doesn't even have a point in Berserker's Call yet, but I don't think he's fast enough to do it. He does have the boots, but I still think that if there are spark rates parked around the mid lane, he may have some issues. I guess
Firefly definitely knows about the ward now.
It's going to time out, though, so Z-Freak is perfectly okay giving up the... It's going to bother him.
Gets a lot of damage before these 5-minute bounty runes spawn in July. Not going to try and go for the other one because he knows Miracle's coming over. They just secure the one on their side of the map while Sirius manages to get the other two.
So yeah, Tavo taking quite a bit of abuse because it was a dual lane for a great deal of time. Unlike the Tiny, who's been moving around, giving solo experience to the Nature's Prophet, Axe was soaking up to level 3 before he decided to move on, so Tavo taking a little bit more pressure.
Yeah, it doesn't have those high levels of Sandstorm or Caustic Finale. He's going to go for that split build of 2-1-1.
And he's not going to come back anytime soon. It's starting to irritate in July.
Fortunately, the Axe is pretty well set up to deal with Furion. Usually it's a core-to-core matchup, but in this support, at least he can run it in July and chase him away from harassing Miracle too much.
Yeah, and the same build it still applies. Ultimately, once you get a Blink Dagger, you're going to be useful as an Axe no matter what.
Firefly sneaking in. It's nighttime. He can throw him into the Spark Race if he wants to. Manage to get on top of Limp, toss him over into the double, and Limp now is going to go for the LSA. Turns around, throws as much damage as he can, but there's just too many heroes here with the two supports already rotating in, and in July is able to join at any time. The Tiny Arc Warden duo proving to be pretty potent here.
And Firefly debating to go for another toss play, but I think the rest of his team's a little bit too low. They don't know where the Oracle is. But it does force a rotation. Now the Troll Warlord has shown up mid, and in July he TP'd in with his spell so he can teleport back to the bot lane and start pushing that out. Thankfully, Z-Freak is already in position as an Axe to deal with any Nature's Prophet pushes.
Yeah, Limp's jungling right now.
He's scared.
So I guess the upside being that Z-Freak gets a lane to himself.
Yeah, at least until the TP comes off cooldown, I imagine.
Yeah, let me tell you, when Envy debuted the Axe,
yes,
I was like, okay, this looks good, but only because you're actually getting kills. When you don't get farm on this support Axe, you just look like garbage. You just fall off so fast. And Z-Freak was hoping to be able to get some farm in this bottom lane, but now Firefly's chasing him down with his double damage. They're going to block one area with the Sprout. Not really the ideal Sprout, though. And Z-Freak hides away into the trees, gets the healing salve off, so he will be perfectly fine. Felt like that should have been a kill.
Yeah, I don't know why they went for the Sprout. I mean, he doesn't have any tangos or a Quelling Blow.
If anything, maybe it's kill the other way here. Is in July. Nah, Miracle just wants the farm.
So, I mean, if you don't get early Tranquil Boots, I definitely agree that this Axe will fall off because people will just be able to outrun him, especially with the Tiny. You are not going to be able to out-initiate a Tiny in most situations because Toss and Avalanche are way more easy to land than a Berserker's Call. Yeah. And he's not going around Sylar's perfectly fine. The Axe is left, so the Warlock doesn't even need to protect the Ember Spirit anymore. Warlock is off trying to figure out what's going on in the mid lane.
Well, Limp finally off of neutraling is going to get enough gold for boots. You look at his CS, he's actually pretty even with the Arc Warden, but net worth he is down by 700.
Tian Ming's creeping in the DMs. 343 may tank this gank.
Yeah, he certainly is. 343. He's donezo, and Complexity do not want to give up their mid tower. This is twice now that we've made a heavy rotation from Sirius. Complexity last time responded with the Troll TP being in.
Well, Wrath of Nature is available now, so if a lot of heroes show up, I think Sirius are more than willing to take a fight. These spark rates are being so irritating.
Yeah.
Limp doesn't even have that much mana.
Limp's just trying to LSA and Dragon Slave over and over again to kill the creeps, and he does at least do that little.
And now Tavo shows up. But again, these rotations are not that expensive for Sirius. Arc Wardens stay in the mid lane no matter what. Nature's Prophet, who cares if he teleports? He's just going to go right back to the lane that he came from. And your Warlock was going for a mid lane gank rotation anyway. It's not like Ember Spirit's, taking any sacrifice from that.
The most, the worst thing that happened is Miracle got 2 waves for free and a bit of damage on the tier 1.
Right, yeah.
But considering the damage they did to the mid-tier 1, that feels pretty worth it for Sirius.
And plus, Ember Spirit is keeping toe-to-toe with this Troll Warlord's farm, so...
Yeah. They're gonna try and catch Firefly here. Limp is just done with that lane, man. He's going to start making rotations with the Laguna Blade. Didn't have to use it there. And that kill on the support, both of them having a greedy 4 position that really wants to be, you know, level 7, level 8. Fortunately, there is the 2 tomes, which gives opportunity for you to pick greedier supports like this. Not just for the 10-minute timing and guaranteeing your level 6, but I would say even 20 minutes for heroes like these to get those later levels.
Yeah.
Make sure that they get to at least level 9.
I mean, even on Sirius' side, the Warlock is going to be thrilled with this, assuming that they give it to him and don't want to just power level Arc Warden, which is also potential.
Dire scanning for
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. That is one of those heroes that you would love to get as many levels as possible, considering the power of like his level 20 or level 15 and 25 talents.
Yeah, and even like level 18 Tempest Double is one of the few carries that his ultimate scales so importantly.
Yeah.
With the duration.
Every single one means another round of Hand of Midas, which he already has, and is going to be building into the farming Maelstrom, which also gives him lots of damage.
And in the previous game, Complexity were very good at aggressively warding the Dire jungle whenever they had to deal with the Sven.
Yep.
This time there is a suspicious lack of aggressive vision on the side of Complexity.
Yeah, and a lack of like any setup for aggressive moves. Maybe that's just because of all this pressure that's happening mid. But In July has taken that tower, and Limp showing up. Maybe he feels like he needs Yules first. Same kind of goes for Tavo. Probably wants to be able to have his Veil blink first. They're going to try and go for Tavo. Here's going to turn our Burrow Strike up the Firefly now. The Ember Spirit managed to dodge that, but fortunately 343 was sitting in the side. Will save Tavo, but they don't really catch anybody unless Limp Chubbs Warlock, who's going to go for the healing sound. Just needs a little bit more HP. He's going to turn around the Golem as Siler gets on top of the Lina. Limp goes way too far forward. Firefly's probably going to die to a Burrow Strike here. That's still even more commitment. Fortunately, the Sandstorm will finish him off, and they don't actually have vision because they used their dust earlier. 2 seconds time. 1 second. Tavo is going to be revealed in a second. There he is. And he dies just like that to the Spark Wraith.
And that is not worth a tiny kill. Tavo has nearly like 1.5k more net worth than that tiny, so he goes in for the Burrow Strike. That's his escape ability. There's also his kill ability, and he goes down.
It was space at that time. Miracle took the bottom tier 1 tower.
Yeah, and the Nature's Prophet died as well, so it's not all bad. But Limp is Limp is the winning factor for Complexity so often, because he will win mid definitively, and he will make a lot of space for Miracle, who oftentimes doesn't even need that much space. Miracle likes to fight with just like power treads, and he wants to go. But he doesn't have a partner right now. Tavo's too underfarmed, Limp is too underfarmed, you have a support Axe who can't really set up kill, and Oracle's just there for defensive purposes.
That means our Gordon's just loving life right now. He has no one that is really afraid of, that is going to be running at him. He's just going to be farming up jungle, and it's going to probably be another 5 minutes before Complexity can start actively hunting him. He will get ahead. It just means Complexity are going to, because the laning phase didn't go as well, they're going to have to hit a really hard mid-game timer, where they're just going to have to keep knocking Sirius off their block over and over again.
But it's not even going to be easy to push out waves. You got to deal with Wrath of Nature. The Maelstrom is going to be completed. I'm very curious to see what this Ember Spirit will build, but I hope he also goes along the same way as a Wave Clear. Right now he's got Phase Boots and Drum, but you know, anything like a Maelstrom, even that, if you're okay with.
Bottom tower has been denied.
Good job by Miracle denying that bottom tower. But that's still, as you said,
very, very big circle drawn by the Tiny.
Yeah.
That was the poor man's scan, where he's like, I can't prove it to you guys, but take my word for it. They're up in the top lane.
I need you guys to bail me out right now. That's what they're going to do. They're going to smoke over, and you saw Firefly, who was playing behind his tower earlier. As his teammates move over, he starts putting himself out there, kind of baiting it. He wants to be this tasty little pebble that Complexity try and jump on.
I mean, Tavo can't even like kill him.
They're running to Z-Freak, though, first. This will be, should be just a fast kill. The upheaval actually gets stopped, and because they already used the chain, they have Strike Burst now with the Remnants. They do manage to do that, at least.
To push, as Injulai is kind of having to be on Troll Warlord duty. So even though this Nature's Prophet ideally would be moving around the map, he's kind of stuck here, making sure that the tier 2 tower doesn't take too much damage.
Yeah.
Plus with the Golem already being down, although up in 10 seconds, so they may be able to force another fight. And Sirius have been very, very good at playing around this Golem timing.
There's the Maelstrom. With the Golem being up, and honestly, it feels like Ember Spirit's reaching into his own time surrounding as well. They can definitely start getting aggressive, trying to get the kill on Tavo. 3-4-3, managing to get the false promise. Mid-air onto Tavo, really well played. He's going to heal him up. The Burrow Strike on through, but they're going to turn with the goal. Go for the back line, try and kill the Oracle. He managed to have a lot of magic wand charges, but ASD with his Tempest double is now beating on the Miracle, who doesn't even get off the battle trance. Now they've caught Limp inside the Avalanche as well. A 2-man LSA. He tries to throw out some spells, hoping to be able to kill Firefly. Can't even do that. 3 down on the side of Complexity. And Team Sirius now getting quite the lead building up for themselves in this game 2, hoping to be able to bring a shutout 2-0 once again at StarLadder.
This is the problem with the support axe, I suppose. Even all these fights are popping off. You have a support hero who has to get knee-deep into a fight to be useful at all. And he does not have the items to survive going knee-deep into a fight. Hell, Tavo with his Veil of Discord is dying so easily. Needed Oracle to save him, and he still ends up going down and not being able to get any return kills. And all the while long, Arc Warden farms.
3 bounty runes plus the Arc Warden farming just means that net worth has gone from 2, 3, now 4K.
Yo, how crazy do you think it would be if he goes for the Arc Warden eggs for some rune forging?
I actually think
it's garbage.
No. I think it's legit.
Okay.
Just it's like the oh, we killed Roshan. There was an Aghanim Scepter.
Ah, okay.
I think it's like
it's a synth viable target, but not like a build viable target.
Yeah,
Okay, I got you.
I think there are a lot of those Aghanim Scepters
Oh yeah,
out there.
for sure. I think like Spectre is another one that I put in that same camp. I think she's great with the synth, but not for building.
To be fair, I haven't done the math on, I don't know what the cooldown is, and then I guess you have to roll, because you can roll bounty runes, right?
Yeah, you can.
So you can, like, I guess just to do the math of, like, what are the chances of getting bounty runes, how long, how much gold is this going to be?
It's like the double Midas or something like that.
Yeah. It just seems like no matter what, it's better late game, right? Because double damages are better late game.
For sure.
Bounty rune just give you more gold later game as well. Even certain things like illusions are really powerful late game.
Yeah. I like it. I don't know how good it is, but it's very creative at least. I love the creativity.
And I think that's what the Ag Synth really does.
Right.
It allows Ice Frog just throw in some bullshit Ags and say like, well, okay, if they suck, who cares? You don't have to build it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Not a big fan of how Complexity are playing this game, though.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, the net worth lead somehow went down to 3K at one moment. I'm not sure how that was.
I mean, until they kill Arc Warden, I'm not putting too much stock into any sort of gold situation.
Yeah.
You need to slow him down. He has his BOTs completed now on top of the Maelstrom. He can push out every single lane without, like, minimal effort. And that's even having a Nature's Prophet on your team. Like, how are Complexity ever supposed to make it past the river?
Yeah. Dude, we're still trying to build a Yule Scepter on Lina.
Z-Freak already has a Blink Dagger ahead of Limp's first item. That's sad.
I think the ideal was that they would have like Shadowblade potentially being built up by the Lina right now. They'd have like between Blink Tavo, Shadowblade Limp, and Blink Z-Freak, they'd have just a lineup that can run around map, hunting the Arc Warden, whatever heroes they run into, they can jump very quickly. They're gonna go catch 3-4-3, manage to burn it. They see Searing Chains, but he's probably still gonna die here. It's okay, space created is what they say. Complexity can, I mean, I'm gonna say hit that tower, but God, they suck at hitting towers.
Well, at least Z-Freak can cut the wave, but they are not going to push remotely as fast as Sirius, as they are just crunching through this tier 2 tower. And Complexity aren't even really sieging the tier 1.
Yeah. Lena's supposed to be good at hitting towers, but he's so far behind.
I think she needs mana to cast spells to get Fiery Soul, and she's just a few steps behind that, unfortunately.
Yeah, he got hit by like one Wrath of Nature. His HP went down to half, and he's like, well, nope.
He couldn't even beat the Tempest Double, and the Tempest Double is not that farmed yet.
Well, finally the tower's going to fall because after taking that tier 2, Sirius don't set up to defend. They could have, but instead they want to maintain aggression. They want to be able to continue playing this area. 3-4-3 dies in pretty much the same area, and he's like, God, do they have a ward here? They have to, right?
Which they do. It's actually on the Radiant High Ground.
Yeah. So they may not be expecting that deep of a ward, but what I most loved about this rotation is that they can play just for the mid-tier 2. And continue to try and dive. Apparently missed out on the chase, but they do have the Blink Dagger tossed back. Sylar will be able to catch him. It looks like the rod of Ato's coming out from In July. A self-fuels, but they can just jump onto him with the Remnant if they want to. Tavo was hoping to be able to burrow strike Sylar as he committed in, but Sylar didn't have to at all. He could just leave that Remnant. And Sirius, I mean, they can always reset. That's the beauty of it. So many of their global heroes, they get a kill like that, both the Furion and Ember Spirit, head back to base, and in any time, they can jump back to mid lane.
I mean, the Arc Warden may have been in the base the entire time for all we know.
Yeah.
This is so difficult for Complexity to have more sustain than what the Sirius lineup have, and even Warlock.
He does jump to the Remnant. Jesus, all right, now he knows.
Well, he did counter it.
You know, it cost him 3 deaths, but he got the 1 ward that was placed out.
This is when you go like Bloodstone Ember Spirit or something like that. You're like, if I keep getting free kills now, ASD, the real one.
Oh, that is a big kill. They're going to kill the Tempest Double as well, so that's 540 gold plus an extra 240. So thankfully, Complexity doing a bit to stem the bleeding, because, you know, it looks really bad, but the 5 position dying 3 times in a row, not too big of a deal. Getting the main carry of Sirius, that's a big one. And if they can actually get more, if they can get both these supports, drop the Golem. Tavo going to be able to burrow strike through the Golem, hits Firefly, and they actually have to stop the Fury on TP. It feels like this is a lost fight, even with the Golem here, but now Sylar seems to be able to get the double chain, so Injuly does join in. There's going to be safe from the Oracle. Tavo's going to try and TP back to base. Oh, there's a Laguna Blade out onto Sylar. He's dead. Now Tianmi's going to fall as well. One big pickup. The Arc Warden now turns into a massive team fight win for Complexity. And look at them. They go straight for the tower. They're saying Arc Warden's dead for a small amount of time. Let's just backdoor it.
He's respawning though, but I don't. Oh wow, he's going for it. Is
that real him? No, that's going to be Tempest Double.
Always fall.
He runs at him, but the tower's already dead.
Quick chain reaction of events. I don't really know why Sirius wanted to take that fight. It's a fight that you take if the enemy don't have their shrine up there.
Yeah.
Because then you're pretty confident, like, no one else can move around the map as fast as we can. We have a Prophet, we have an Ember, and Lina, like, just completed her Yule, so there's no way that they're going to be able to get there that fast. But if they have a shrine available, Complexity will take that fight 10 out of 10 times. So they start challenging it. Warlock drops the Golem. Furion gets cold feet for a little bit. Mylar shows up, and they're like, okay, now we can take the fight. But you also bought enough time for all of Complexity to join the fight, and things just go very, very poorly for Sirius. And what was once a much higher net worth advantage is now shrunk down to 1K.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're saying, of course, Complexity is going to take that fight near a shrine. They have to take a fight sometime.
Yeah.
They have a lineup that does have a very good mid-game window. They have a fallback plan in the Troll. They can see if they can win late game. I'm not really sure they will, but they can see if they can win late. But they have to, 100%. Plan A is to hit this mid-game window with their Lina and their Sand King.
And whenever Arc Warden is dead, like, effectively the biggest net worth advantage of Sirius is gone. So
yeah.
They seize the opportunity very well, and they get quite a few items and map control out of it.
Well, Sirius, well, they took a lesson out of it. Whether or not it's the right lesson, they're just going to play pretty defensively, farming on their side of the map now.
And unfortunately, they, like, Complexity were not farmed enough to take, like, a Roche. So they had to be content taking a tier 1 mid, which would have been great like 7 minutes ago. But at this stage, it's kind of just like a formality that I have to take this. Otherwise, then you definitely can't take Roche. But now all of Sirius are available.
Okay, see, this is what I wanted to see. I didn't want Sirius to just play too passive after losing 1 fight. Because Sylar is still really strong just because he got fight out, let's say. Now, Firefly, they're going to find him with the Slight, revealing whatever hero that they smoked into. That's going to be 3-4-3. Once again, though, I mean, the 5 position dying is not that big of a deal. My man's working on double bracers. He doesn't really need upgraded boots.
Are scanning for enemies.
And the gold and experience you're getting off of that kill is not much.
I think this may motion into them trying to seize the map control back after they lost it. They're near that Roche pit.
Yeah, you can see Angelai's pushing out the bottom lane while the rest of the team heads toward mid.
Though still, in classic ASD fashion, he will fight when he deems he's ready to fight. Other than that, you will see him cruising around in this eastern jungle.
You make him sound like a lofty lord, like, yes,
Fight my team, fight for my enjoyment as I eat these grapes.
Hand to Midas after hand to Midas. He'll send his Tempest Double up to deal with the top lane push. And I like the fact that Complexity are playing up here with Limp and Seafreak. They're trying to force a rotation, but unfortunately, there's just so many heroes that can stop these pushes for free. Nice blink right before the avalanche comes out. Maybe they needed Wrath of Nature is what they needed. They needed instant damage.
Right.
Dire scan
Stop the blink first. That's the most important part. Then you can Orchid and everything else.
It seems like they may bring up to take Roche's Dire, scan it out.
Is that a big window? Did I just see? Yeah, it's a big
BKB.
window for complexity. BKB troll is online with level 18 closing in, but to be honest, you don't really need that. You just need to go fight right now. Because that BKB means this Arc Warden really isn't scary at all. Tavo's going to deal with the Tempest double push at bottom lane. They're actually going to they thought about pulling the Furion in here and seeing if they could Orchid kill Tavo with the Tempest double.
Well, they moved down and find a DD rune instead, so I guess it was worth their while.
Oh, Jesus. He's got an Aghanim Scepter already.
Ember. Let's go.
Now, this is...
Dude, how do you ever push out?
Oh, God, it's
Ags
so hard.
Ember,
It's so
Arc Warden BOTs, Nature's Prophet.
You have to kill them like 1 billion times.
This is like having 3 Tinkers on the enemy team almost.
Yeah. Thankfully, the Ember Spirit Aghanim Scepter, I feel like it just gets broken when you get level 25.
Yeah, you need the talents. Yeah.
You need the
Right
Remnant
now, it's
charge.
balanced. With 25, it's broken.
They're going to be able to get the initiation. They have a Force Staff, though. Tian Bing is he able to get off the goal and tries to get it, but the strike from Tavo stops him. Z-Freak almost dying here to the Tempest double. Will, in fact, die to the BKB. Double damage from Miracle. Looks for his next target. Let's be able to get on top of Siler. Siler has the first hit instead. Are you kidding me? The slight jump over is he able to get to his Remnant as another Remnant out jumps away from him. Is able to dodge all that while Tavo was dealing with the rest of the team. They win for Siler and they failed. That means Sirius was able to clean up everybody else and will join Siler and poke. Until she falls.
They don't even need the Golem now, so they can easily take a Roche if they want to. They can start hammering away at this tier 2, let Arc Warden handle that, and all it costs with a Warlock buyback. And Lina managed to complete her BKB at the narrowly getting delivered in mid-fight. So that was 2 10-second BKBs, both from the Troll Warlord and the Lina, and they still don't get very much done at all. Arc Warden Tempest double is going to push tier 2 top, and the rest of the team is going to push tier 2 mid. And now everyone's going to migrate.
Do you think he needs, he needs MKB obviously because the way the bubble, he's got to deal with that. But I also kind of feel like I want to see a Blink Troll.
I would be okay with that if Lina wasn't so massively underfarmed.
Yeah.
One needs to deal damage, and both of them went for BKBs. Was just like, I just need to stay alive a little bit longer. So yeah, damage is a huge concern. But I don't think you can start doubling down on initiating power.
When you have 20 seconds of magic immunity between these two heroes and you
Still
don't,
lose the fight.
Yeah, you still lose the fight, it's a bad sign for complexity. And now 3-4-3. No, he's killing neutrals instead.
He's farming.
Yeah, just chilling out.
The Force Staff now completed on the Tiny as well.
Oh, I love that. They the defensive Force Staff on Tian Ming almost allowed him to get off Chaotic Offering, which would have been just disaster for complexity, even if that fight was bad already.
It seems like Sirius may be reading the game the same way as you are, where they're like, the only way we really lose is if someone gets initiated on, maybe like by Blink initiation. So like a Blink Troll would obviously be devastating, but they're already equipped for that by building these Force Staffs.
Or like the Burrow Strike into LSA Laguna Blade, as long as they can save Siler or ASD from that follow-up stun. So multiple Force Staffs off the bound, Hurricane Pike. The Rod of Atos was an interesting idea from in July, and it definitely proved when they had an advantage, it just meant they had more reach and more lockdown.
Anything to kite the troll.
Yeah. Their smoke make their way through the jungle where they know, I mean, Miracle, thing about the situation is complexity have to farm somewhere. And it becomes pretty easy just through process elimination to know where Miracle's going to be after going to run into him, manage to get the Avalanche out. He's got BKB and TP's away, but there's going to be the Golem. So now he has to go for the Battle Trance and just try and kill at least one of these heroes. He's going to lifesteal a fair amount here, but a good Force Staff from Firefly getting away from the Troll, but couldn't get the Ensnare onto Siler, so now Siler's going to kite him. Firefly comes back in with the combo.
Didn't even use Nature's Prophet. Now
you know,
ASD is in. Yes.
I'm a little bit surprised that Complexity didn't TP and try and fight for their Troll. They probably would have lost.
Yeah, but it would have been like so many TP delays onto the shrine. Like maybe the Lina shows up first, and then the other hero shows up, and then the other hero shows up. If they could have all gotten there at the same time, then it would have been great. But one at a time, I think it would have just been another death sentence.
Tempest double and Golem. Already, there's a decent amount of damage on that tier 3, and as soon as they can get the backdoor protection down, Creep finally crosses over the threshold, gets close enough to the tier 3. They're going to be able to jump on the top. Going to be saved by the Oracle, though. They do have the Purge following that It's Siler on the front lines, came to the get through. Tavo trying to go for it. Tried to go for the epicenter blink, but honestly just did not do enough damage. Actually managed to burrow strike into the trees. Siler's not able to find him at first. He blinks farther up. Slight. Actually, Yule's dodge there on the avalanche. Tavo somehow still alive. Managed to get a burrow strike onto Siler. Now the call as well. Tavo moving and grooving. Just managed to pick up 2 kills while staying alive for his team. And now if they can get the extra lockdown,
nice.
He does. Burrow strike perfectly timed onto Siler. A massive win there, but it was still a loss of a melee barracks, as that's what ASD did best at that time. They're going to catch Tianming as well, thanks to the call from Z-Freak. 4 end up dying. Was that 4? Maybe it was just 3. Yeah, 3 plus the Aegis.
Nature's Prophet was absent, and yeah, it does take down the Aegis. So Sylar perhaps getting a little too big for his britches there. He is not level 25, otherwise then I'd say you go for that play. But when you are still limited by a finite number of remnants, then I don't think you can start diving into the enemy ancient like that. But he makes space at least. Melee Rax gets claimed, and I don't think it's that colossal setback that like, oh, all of a sudden Troll Warlord's back in the game. Although they keep farming up these Tempest Devils, it can definitely look that way.
Reveals Tavo with the Wrath of Nature, a big hit too. Tavo gets picked off. You know, again, just to illustrate how far complexity you're behind, it felt like that team fight. It was the team fight win, but in the end they lose a tier 3 in a Rax as well.
That's what Arc Warden will do to you. Killing the real hero is like I don't know. There's no pub specialist that I fear more than specialist Arc Wardens. Like any hero spammer, the most feared one for me is an Arc Warden spammer.
Is that because you're a support player?
Yes.
Okay,
but
then I know that feel.
Yeah, but also because my carry players are dumb, and they don't know that invisibility is amazing against Arc Warden, because he can't carry any sources of truth. So he can't carry sentry wards, can't carry dust, can't carry gem. Shadow Blade is so useful at just staying alive, but instead everyone wants to duel the Tempest Double, and they always die.
ASD has a Scythe now. And it's closing in on the level 25. The level 25 is massive. The extra 350 spark rate damage. Never seen anybody take lifesteal, but the spark rate damage is just absurd. 660 nuke that can be spanned out constantly.
Radiant's top shrine is under attack.
That's part of the reason why initiation's so difficult for these complexity heroes. Even if they do manage to find their way into some position, you're going to bump into a spark rate at some point and tank so much damage. Shrines get taken down. Still a few minutes before Roche comes up.
They just maintain this high ground. This controls the Roshan pit. When you're Dire's side and you just take over the Radiant Triangle.
Topo really likes these Sand King Aghanim Scepters. I'm not convinced by it. But this is the second time that he's been relatively farmed. He has been farming a bunch of Tempest Doubles, and so his item of choice seems to be the Aghanim Scepter. And he already has the or someone has a Lotus on his team. Who's got the Lotus?
I did spot it early. They do manage to get the call onto Firefly. Good to play it out. Firefly's actually taking it. Finally does die to Culling Plate. That extra movement speed will allow them to retreat because they need to. Team Sirius is here in force. They do manage to get the lockdown here. Tavo, can he blink away? He does manage to get the blink out for his own Yules. 3-4-3 though is orchided up. Can't save himself with the false promise while he's silenced. He does have buyback though, so it's not like Team Sirius. They're going to get a guaranteed high ground push out of this one. It will come down to a nasty fight. Oh, but a jump forward. If ASD finds the pick off immediately onto Miracle, there is going to be a small save, saving them from any magic damage to the Fate's Edict. They're going to jump Tavo down for the Yule Scepter, manage to hit the LSA onto the Tiny, getting Tavo out of there into the back line. He's still trying to get hit by the Tempest Double, and he does fall. Miracle with his swinging at in July as best as possible, trying to get as much lifesteal out of this one because he needs it. He gets fully healed up by 3-4-3's False Promise as his end. Another sight being used on the axe to make sure he can't further his initiation. 1 second up though, and he can continue the chase, especially with Tavo. It's so hard for Sirius to build a disengage, and Z-Freak almost got the Ember Spirit.
I think Sirius may have been a little bit too interested in trying to push with that Golem. With a team like what they have, they do not need to take 5-on-5 engagements. That is what Complexity want. They want team fights. They want to be able to, you know, let the axe initiate, distract everyone else, Sirius have all the split push in the world right now, but they saw the golem. They're like, a big cooldown was spent. The magnetic field didn't even end up getting in the range of the golem to like give him bonus attack speed. And then they're like, well, no, I've got a scythe. Let's just initiate.
Oh, dude, JJ reads my mind. I was curious because the Tempest Gold has got to be getting up
it's
there.
out
2,200. 1,000 gold has gone to Tavo, who's been the biggest hunter of these Tempest doubles
and now he
the
puts
best split pusher.
Aeon Disc in his quick buy, which I'm a much bigger fan of than the Scepter.
Especially against the scythe.
For sure.
Is under attack.
And Lina, on the other hand, completes an Assault Cuirass. So Limp playing this by ear.
Okay. I like it. If you can build into the MKB, like this is how you go late game.
I mean, is
with your Lina.
that much right click damage? Because like Ember has the Maelstrom, and Arc Warden has the Mjolnir. So I feel like the majority of it is like, you know.
Oh yeah,
magic damage.
yeah. This is a lot of magic damage. I agree with you. Especially now we're gonna go Radiance as well.
Yeah.
For Sylar.
Well, I guess if they manage to win a fight, they will take structures extremely quickly, with a Troll Warlord having an AC aura and dropping the armor of towers.
Yeah, and if he can win a fight, he may be able to get MKB next, and his physical damage coming out from the Lina will at least be quite nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Since getting a tad concerning for Sirius that they haven't been able to close out this game just yet.
They're just not split pushing as much as I thought they would. They don't have anyone to like chase down these heroes. Whenever a Tempest double is getting hassled,
Finding a nice initiation. They're going to try and kill Injuline right away for the force staff. There's still Tavo to be able to fall over the Bro Strike though. Injuline getting off his EKB and Sprouts himself. Miracle can't cut through and he has to run away from AST who's playing on the high ground right now. Sirius strike back strong. Tavo still playing inside that river. Is going to Bro Strike out eventually. Forced out by Sylar. The Eul Scepter onto himself. Miracle's only healed a tad bit, not comfortable enough to go back into that fight, so he's just got to run away.
I mean, Ember can chase.
The game is they don't have buybacks on two. They're going to chase down Limp next. Miracle's going to go and try and kill Injuline here. They do have the toss up. The toss away by Firefly to be able to save Injuline again. They saved him again. Twice now that Injuline has been bailed out by his team. There's no buyback on Limp now. Miracle was the only one with it. It is going to be 30% lifesteal on the Arc Warden as they commit now to end this game. It's only two. Z-Freak, who's now been spotted out. The Rod of Atos managing to land on the Z-Freak enough to be able to catch up with the Orchid and everything else, allowing his team to get that final kill pretty much. Now it's just Miracle. All by his lonesome for a significant amount of time. This should be Megas.
21k net worth advantage.
Yeah.
And Sirius win with far more team fights than I would have expected. I would have expected them to just chip down the entire complexity structures from lane to lane, but instead they're taking it to complexity's face, joining in these team fights, relying on the Warlock fatal damage, damage with all these bouncing Maelstrom procs, and now they're gonna pick off this Troll Warlord.
I mean, Complexity's choice also, too. Like, I thought it was going to be good initiation because I thought the kill was going to happen really fast, but they're still at the end choosing to initiate on the Furion. Right? Instead of trying to, like, find the Arc Warden. And you saw the Arc Warden who played on the high ground in that mid-engagement was just, he was a monster.
And it was confirmed at that point that Nature's probably had a BKB. That was his 9-second BKB usage, so Sirius... Yep. The moving Complexity will unfortunately be the second elimination of this miner following up Windstrike.
Complexity. Rough way to go out, man. Got here